Highbury is, as usual, full to capacity, full of expectation and full of internationals, 19 of them fielded by these two pretenders to the crown. For Tim Flowers, who has never been on the winning side here, it's a chance to renew acquaintance with the bane of his footballing life. Ian Wright twice put hat-tricks past his England colleague when Flowers was at Southampton, and has also beaten him 3 times in his last 3 games against Blackburn. Wright, though, is one of 5 players involved today who are just 1 booking away from suspension. In fact, if he avoids a caution here, he's then likely to play for the reserves next Tuesday in order to have one of his yellow cards wiped out. Arsenal's challenge has been somewhat derailed by 3 defeats in their last 5 matches, but they keep the side that won at Newcastle. Bold and Vieira are both available, however, Keown and Platt keep their places. Blackburn have been as hard as anyone to beat. They've suffered only 2 defeats. With Damien Duff injured, Jason Wilcox starts, Roy Hodgson opting for his attacking threat ahead of the consistency of Gary Flitcroft. Chris Sutton, by the way, is not popular in these parts. Arsenal believe his lack of sportsmanship during last season's meeting here led to Blackburn's last-minute equaliser. The 2 points dropped cost the Gunners a lucrative place in the Champions League. Gary Willard from Worthing in charge today. And in Wright, Bergkamp and Sutton, we've got 3 of the top 5 Premiership strikers so far this season on view, in scoring terms at least. However, we also have 2 well-drilled defences, and Blackburn's has already been tested, hence the Arsenal throw, which Dixon is going to take. Bergkamp. Wilcox stretched, but Parler got the ball. This is Martin Keown. Hendry. Bergkamp finding Ian Wright. Keown. And Parler. Petit. Well, Wilcox got a foot in, but it's still not properly away for Blackburn. Platt. Hendry. Really concerted pressure in the opening minute by Arsenal, but now Blackburn can breathe a little. Kenner. And the boos you hear are inevitably for Chris Sutton. Football fans have long memories. Ripley. On for Sutton, just over his head. But I do hope that Chris Sutton has brought his earplugs. 11 full England internationals in the starting lineups today. No surprise then that the England coach is in attendance. Bergkamp. Hurdling players effortlessly. Now Parler. Dixon ahead of him. Wright available as well. It's still Ray Parler. Well, that's the benefit of having players like Bergkamp and sundry other internationals in the team. The one non-international, Ray Parler, can use them all as a foil. Jeff Kenner for Blackburn. Gallagher. Platt. Winterburn. Overmars is not short of pace, nor is Ancho for that matter. But the Swiss defender's in a bit of a tight corner. Remarkably, it's still in play. And it could work to Arsenal's advantage. This is David Platt. Well, Platt has held on to his place despite the renewed availability of Patrick Vieira. And he's in a consistent run of form, the former England captain. Kenner to Sutton, well taken on the chest. An excellent anticipation by Keown to whip it away from him. Petit. And Wright's on his way. Flowers has come out. And Flowers did wonderfully well to avoid making contact with the ball with his hands. Tim Flowers earned his call for Blackburn with that rush from goal, because as the ball was played, you would initially have backed Ian Wright. I think he caught it in the pit of his stomach. Free kick goes Blackburn's way for the foul by Platt. Chris Sutton the focal point for Blackburn. Kick taken by Croft. Petit, ricocheted off the head of Sherwood, up in the air by Overmars. Blackburn seemed to stand off it. Petit has played it forward for Overmars. Flowers is out, but this time he can't stop him. Almost a carbon copy of the incident moments before when Ian Wright came through. Flowers won that tussle, but couldn't beat the Flying Dutchman. First blood to Arsenal, the lofted pass from Petit, and the cool finish from Mark Overmars. His 5th of the season. No amount of acrobatics by Flowers could halt the Arsenal winger. Croft. Only to Keown. Right. Parlour was set off on the far flank. Flats. Oncho, having to be very careful. Ripley, dangerous, giving it away to Winterburn. And still Nigel Winterburn tried the curling shot. Memories of his last gasp winner at Chelsea recently. Hit with the outside of the left boot. A foot more curl, and it would have been 2-0. 34 this week, Nigel Winterburn, and still going strong. Keown. On by Ripley. Adams. Jeff Kenner. Sutton. Sherwood. Sutton once again. Gallagher ahead of him, and he's timed his run well. He's onside. 3 waiting for the cross, just over the head of Wilcox. Now it's Croft. Still the danger hasn't gone for Arsenal. Sutton, and Wilcox with his right foot this time. Kenner to McKinley. This is as threatening as Blackburn have been. It's Gallagher, and now Wilcox for a 3rd time. Made good contact, but it was always going past the post and above the crossbar. Very persistent Blackburn in this spell of pressure. And really you would have backed Jason Wilcox to do rather better from there, particularly on his left. Adams, under pressure, he's lost it, and now it's all down to Kevin Gallagher. Well, no wonder Seaman's smiling, and Adams looks relieved, because that's a real let-off for the home side. So rare that you see Adams hustled off the ball like that and then misplace a back pass. And then it was all down to Gallagher against Seaman, and it was Keown that saved the day with the block. Ripley's corner. Up in the air by Keown. Seaman's come for this. McKinley. Wilcox. There's a Londoner who's unbeaten against London clubs in the Premiership so far this season. Half-time whistle, and a general air of happiness thanks to Mark Overmars' goal, ably protected by the defensive work of Martin Keown. So at half-time in this battle between the 3rd and 4th place clubs, Arsenal can be said to be not so much over the you-know-what as plainly over Mars. The lineups at the start of this second period are as they were at the conclusion of the first. For Blackburn, in particular, defeat has been an almost alien concept, apart from A couple of aberrations against Leeds and then at Old Trafford a couple of weeks ago. And that's what they're staring at the moment, with this one-goal deficit. As Roy Hodgson, Tony Parks and Derek Fazackerley know only too well. Right. That was a miscue, but it's found Parler nonetheless. Bergkamp and right in the centre. Parler looking for support from Dixon. Petit. Winterburn. Bergkamp. Now for Overmars, beautifully played by Bergkamp to him. Here's Ian Wright! Gallagher, now Petit. And on to Winterburn. Posted into space. There's a good opportunity for Ian Wright, fashioned by the two Dutchmen, Bergkamp and Overmars. Good positioning from Flowers, though. Sutton, Keown and Adams both together. Defending, there's Keown. Now it's Sherwood. Four blue and white shirts. Sutton couldn't make it, nor could Gallagher. Gallagher hurled himself at the ball. After Sutton had more or less missed it, he just got a slight deflection though, Chris Sutton, which took it away from his teammate. Platt. Very nicely away from McKinley. Kenner, McKinley. Seeking out Ripley. Adams across for Arsenal. Poor clearance, straight to Kenner. Sutton, Sherwood, was that a hand? It's Wilcox, and it's 1-1. Evident delight on the faces of the visiting players. They've worked hard for this equalising goal. The presence of Sutton and of Sherwood crucial, and the coup de grace delivered by the man from Farnworth, one of the few local players in the Blackburn Rovers side, and also their longest serving man on the staff. Gallagher. Ripley available far side. Halted by a fine challenge from Winterburn, using all his great experience. Right. Squaring up to Onshow. Well, he says the old aggression is back, and on the evidence of one or two little flare-ups, it is. Nothing serious, though. Overmars. Dixon. Parler to his right. Not in that particular position. As read by Gary Croft. Sutton, shielding it from Keown. Wilcox. Croft. Bergkamp. Sutton's flick, and here's Gallagher. Takes it first time! Oh, what a goal by Kevin Gallagher! Magnificent is the only word that describes that. Real Route 1, but that's not to denigrate it whatsoever. All the way from the goalkeeper. The flick by the tall striker Sutton, in fact it may have come off the defender, and from that point on it was all down to Kevin Gallagher. Surely one of the finest goals that the experienced little striker has ever scored, and it puts Blackburn in front. Dixon. Winterburn. On for Bergkamp. Onshow trying to get goal side of him. Appeals for handball against Kenner. And the corner is all the referee signals. And he's also reaching for his pocket to deliver a yellow card to Dennis Bergkamp for making a signal that suggested the referee's eyesight wasn't all it might have been. And then Bergkamp wonders why he gets booked so many times, but it's more often than not for moments of dissent like that than for clear-cut fouls. Here's the corner. Out by Flitcroft. Bergkamp. Looks rather like he feels hard done to. But to wonder whether the referee needs spectacles is not a wise thing to do. Not so publicly, at least. Flitcroft. Kenner. Gallagher. Sutton, this is good play by Blackburn. It could become very good play because this is Wilcox. And there's Gallagher. And that was Keown that got it away. It should have been 3-1. And that would have sealed the points. Can Arsenal make Blackburn Rovers pay? Overmars. Right, Flowers has come and has judged it very well. And McKinley squaring up to Overmars. Distinctly unwise. Petit. Out by Onshow. And finding Gallagher. Arsenal committing men forward, and now they've got to sprint back because this is Flitcroft for Blackburn. Sutton's by the penalty spot. Sherwood is beyond him. Gallagher's in there as well. It needs the right cross. It's got it. It's Sherwood, and it should have been a goal. It might be now. And still, Blackburn can't get the telling third. How on earth did the captain miss? Not once, but twice. Petit. Offside flag is up against Tony Adams, who was 20 yards beyond the last defender. Flitcroft. Sherwood's timed his run well, and this time surely he must score, or has he shown too much of it to Seaman? Seaman should have gathered it. Still Sherwood has a chance, and this time, at the fourth attempt, he seals victory for Blackburn. What a saga. Off the line, off the bar, back up the other end, off the keeper, and finally, at long, long last, the goal that makes the game safe for Roy Hodgson's team. Tim Sherwood's fourth goal in 8 games, the best scoring spell of his entire career. This is right. Oh, took a wild swing at Onshow. Now, what is the referee going to do now? He's reaching for his pocket, which means that whatever colour the card is, Wright is in a modicum of trouble. It's a question of degree, it's a booking, and that's his 5th of the season. So Ian Wright, for this wild challenge, is out of the Christmas fixtures at Tottenham in the North London derby and against Port Vale in the FA Cup. The 5th Arsenal player to be suspended for reaching 5 bookings this season, which is not a clever record. The final whistle, greeted by boos around Highbury. The game turned around completely by a valiant Blackburn performance in the second half. They trailed to Overmars' goal, but Jason Wilcox put them level with his left foot. Kevin Gallagher scored a quite wondrous volleyed goal to edge Blackburn in front. And then Tim Sherwood needed 4 chances to score and took the 4th and final one. And that seals only Blackburn's 2nd victory at Highbury since the war. And for Kevin Gallagher in particular, it's a sweet moment, because 4 years ago on this Highbury ground he broke his leg, and tonight he can shake a leg in celebration as he leaves the field.
Roy, I think many people arriving at Highbury today, for one reason or another, largely the closeness of the two teams, expected a draw. Did you?
Well, I think we'd have settled for a draw. I think when you play one of your top rivals away from home, if you get a draw, you've got a good result. If you win, of course, it's a superb result, and that's what we were able to achieve. I thought we were deserving of it. I thought it was a very good team performance from our side, and I'm really delighted to have taken all of the 3 points, although if you'd have said to me before the game I could have a draw without playing the game, I'd have taken it.
Was desire the most important factor?
Yes, because technically it was a poor game, I think, because the ball spent 80% of the time in the air, so it was more fight than a technical game. But it's part of the game, and they pressured us very well. They didn't let our defenders play, and after that it was difficult for us to build